Hi, third grade, and welcome to week 9 of learning. This week, we are going to spend some time reviewing all of the things we've talked about so far in the first quarter of third grade. We started off in grammar talking about nouns. So remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing. Some examples of nouns are mom, ball, pen, book, Jennifer, and park. Now, some nouns can be classified as proper nouns. Those are specific nouns that start with a capital letter. In the examples below, there are 2 of them. Can you see them? Right. Mom is like a specific name for a person, and Jennifer. Those are both proper nouns. The rest of the nouns listed there are common nouns. We also talked about verbs this year. A verb is a word that shows the action in a sentence. Verbs tell what someone or something is doing. Examples include sing, write, think, walk, run, climb, and tell. Now, all of the verbs listed here are in present tense. But don't forget, verbs can also be in past tense, like sang, wrote, thought, walked, ran, climbed, and told. And you can also put verbs in future tense too by adding the word will in front of it, like tomorrow I will sing on the stage. Next up, we have adjectives. Remember, an adjective is a word that describes a noun. These are my personal favorite. An adjective describes what kind or how many. Examples include red, 3, warm, salty, big, soft, and short. They're my favorite because they make my writing much more interesting and descriptive. We also learned about adverbs this year. An adverb is a word that describes a verb. Adverbs tell how, where, and when an action occurs. Remember, many adverbs end in ly. Examples include silently, upstairs, quickly, or inside. Now, be careful here. I know it says where an action occurs, but you want to be careful not to confuse those with nouns. Upstairs and inside both describe where something happens, but you don't want to ever say that the library is an adverb if you read in the library. Even though that's where you read, the library is a place, and therefore that would be a noun. So just be careful not to mix up adverbs and nouns. Lastly, we discussed pronouns. A pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. Some examples of pronouns include I, me, my, we, us, our, he, she, his, her, them, their, it, they, you, and your. A plural noun is more than one person, place, or thing. Most of the time, when you make a noun plural, you simply add an S. If the word ends with an S already, or a CH, or SH, X, or Z, then you have to add an ES to the end. Think of the word fox. If you wanted to say more than one fox, since it ends with an X, you have to add ES to say foxes. If the word ends in a consonant and then a Y, think of the word baby, you have to drop the Y and add IES. So babies is BABIES. If the word ends in F or FE, think here of leaf or knife. You have to drop the F or FE and add VES. So the plural of leaf is leaves, and the plural of knife is knives with a V. Now, some plural nouns are irregular and they do not follow the rules. Think of the noun child. To make child plural, we do not say childs. We have to use children. Person becomes people, man becomes men, sheep stays sheep, and fish stays fish. So some nouns, of course, don't follow any of the plural rules because they're irregular. Let's look at an example of a sentence and decide what part of speech are the underlined words. He wants to buy a new bike. Our first underlined word here is he. He takes the place of someone's name. So he would be, what do you think? A noun, verb, adjective, adverb, or pronoun? Since it takes the place of a noun, you're right, it's a pronoun. Now, he wants. That's what he does. He wants. So an action, what someone is doing, that is a verb. He wants to buy. That's something he wants to do. So here again is a verb. He wants to buy a new bike. New is my favorite. It's describing what kind of bike. So new is an adjective. And bike, of course, is a thing. So a bike is a noun. Let's look at another sentence. Mandy quickly ate her warm cookie. Well, quickly, there's that ly ending. That should be a signal to you. Quickly is describing how she did something. That is an adverb. Mandy quickly ate her. Her is a word replacing her name. So her is a pronoun. And here's my favorite again, warm cookie. Warm is describing what kind of cookie. So here, warm is an adjective. One more sentence. Mom took the tired baby upstairs. Mom did what? What's her action? The verb is took. The tired baby. Tired is describing the baby. What kind of baby? Tired. It's an adjective. And where is mom taking the baby? Upstairs. Remember, adverbs can also tell where someone does something. Let's look at these nouns. What is the plural form? More than one baby. We talked about this one. Remember, if it ends with a consonant Y, like by, you have to drop the Y and add IES. So here's the plural, BAB-IES. More than one lunch, it ends with that CH. So we can't just add an S, we have to make it lunches and add ES. More than one glass, glasses. If it ends with an S, you also have to add ES. More than one book, that one's regular as can be, just add an S, books. And finally, here's that irregular one, more than one child, it's children. That one is irregular. Can a word have more than one part of speech? Think about that question. Camden jumped in the mud puddle. The floor is covered in mud. Here we have the same word underlined, mud and mud. But if you look in the top sentence, Camden jumped in the mud puddle. Mud there is describing the kind of puddle. So in that sentence, mud is being used as an adjective. But in the bottom sentence, the floor is covered in mud. Mud is simply a thing, so it's a noun. So yes, boys and girls, sometimes a word can have more than one part of speech. That's important to remember. Thank you so much for joining me on this review week today. We will be practicing all of these things. You may want to come back to this presentation to remind yourself of the differences between these parts of speech. But I look forward to working with you throughout the week.